What's up? I'm Bryce Tryon. I'm 11 years old, and I just fell.
Send a double flip his very first time to Reilly. I think it's gonna go well.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Support Your Favorite Athlete Club podcast hosted by World Class Entertainment Squad. My name is Yus, and I am here today with your favorite athlete, Bryce Tryon from California. How are you, Bryce?
What's up, guys? Stoked to be here.
Awesome.
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you. Thank you so much for carving out some time out of your busy schedule to make this happen. We've had a lot of people submitting a lot of questions, so we summarized them and we put the most common questions, and we're ready to dive in if you are.
Awesome. I'm ready for it.
All right, let's do this. So tell us a little bit about yourself for the ones that don't know you. Tell them briefly who Bryce is and where did he grow up and where do you live now?
Okay, so my name is Bryce Tryon. I'm 22 years old. I'm originally from Lodi, California. That's where I grew up. That's where I was born. That's kind of where everyone's seen a lot of my clips from up until recently. And then I just recently moved to Southern California into like a friend's house and stuff with some homies and stuff. And just been riding down here, a lot more opportunities down here, a lot more people to ride with that are, you know, at my level and stuff. So a lot more beneficial. But yeah, I started riding when I was about 8 years old, just going down to the skate park. And then one thing led to another. And a lot of people around were just like, hey, he's really good, to my parents and stuff. And then you should take him to some contests. And the next thing you know, I was going to contests. And then like my first ever contest was at Woodward West. And I think I was like 10 years old or like just about to turn 10. And I'd never been to Woodward West before. That was always my like dream to go. And it was always too expensive for my parents. So then this was like a perfect opportunity because it was like, get to ride it for, 3 days for $40, which is the admission for the contest, and go shred. I ended up placing like second in park and second in vert, which was, I've never ridden a vert ramp before either, so it was like kind of crazy. But then from there it was just like started going to all these different jams, all these different contests in California, and just from there this snowballed really, and then now I just travel around doing contests.
Awesome. So you mentioned that you live with a couple of friends now. Are they BMXers as well? So do you like get a lot of time to train with them and stuff?
So actually it's kind of funny because like we're all like all different aspects of like action sports, So one of our friends, Jackson, he like does everything. Like he can hop on a bike and do a lot of cool stuff. He can hop on a dirt bike, do a lot of cool stuff, a scooter, skateboard, whatever, like he's good. But the main friend that like I knew in the house from the beginning is Shane Davis, and he's pretty much an old BMX athlete that I, from when I was younger, first starting to ride, going to contests and coming down to Southern California, I met him and he was kind of like the bigger dogs, when I was younger. And so, we just stayed in contact for a long time. And then, next thing you know, like I would come down here all the time to visit and hang out. And then I was like, I need to be down here full time. So just went straight into it. But and then like another one of our homies, Taylor, he's like full moto, does like FMX and like trail riding and stuff like that. So like, but we're all like intertwined and stuff, but we all like support each other and like we'll go and watch each other ride and stuff. It's cool.
That's great. Great to hear that. Why did you choose BMX as a sport? Was it because of a family member or a friend that kind of inspired you to start, or was it totally by yourself? Because I know sometimes it's just if it's meant to be, it's meant to be, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty funny actually. Like I was thinking about this recently. Like I don't remember anybody around me riding BMX at all because my older brother used to skate, but he would go to the skate park and I would never go with him or anything. But I
Hmm.
just always enjoyed like the daredevil stuff. I would always do flips on the couches and like when I was really small, like my parents had to lock the top cabinets and not the lower ones because I would climb to the top ones and stuff. So like I was always into doing some like, adrenaline stuff, I guess, from a young
Hmm.
age. And like, um, yeah. And then I just always liked riding my bike and scooters and skateboards and stuff. And then I always wanted to go to the local skate park, which is like 2 blocks from my house that I grew up in. So I always saw it and I was always telling my parents like, hey, I want to go there. They didn't take me there. Um, and like no bikes were allowed there for a while. And
Mm.
then, so I would always go there on my skateboard and scooters. And then eventually my dad was like, okay, we'll bring your bike. And then so from then I was just like, I don't want to do anything. Like I was playing football at the time too, and I was like, I don't want to play football anymore. I want to be a professional BMX rider. And so then my parents like kind of were like, okay, I mean that's cool as long as we structure it kind of like a football practice or something like that. So you're gonna go like 3 times a week to the skate park and just ride because they wanted me to be
Hmm.
outside and rather than be inside. So
Right,
they're
right.
like, you can just go there and ride and hang out and be outside, and then we'll hang out with you, and then one day on the weekend. So it's like kind of similar to a football schedule, but then it just turned into being there 24/7 essentially. Like
Yeah,
right
yeah.
as soon as I would get out of school, I would do my homework, and then when my dad got home, we would go to the skate park and then just be there till it closed. And that was like 3-4 hours we were there, every day, and then just yeah.
Walk us through your daily routine today or weekly routine. Do you get to practice all the time, or like before, as you mentioned, or is life a little bit more busy now that you're like an adult, so to speak?
Life is definitely busy, but I mean, so BMX is my main thing. So like that is like my number one thing. I have to go ride. Like that's well, not only because I like it's my job, but like it's because I enjoy it. So I always try to ride every day.
Hmm.
Um, I try my best to ride every day, but at least I want to ride like four to 5 times a week
Mm.
if I can. Um, and then, but essentially, I usually wake up in the morning, I ride. Once I ride, I come back to the house, I eat, and then I, chill for a little bit. Then I'll probably make dinner and then probably just put that away, then go to the gym, come back
Mm.
from the gym, eat dinner, and then just chill. So that's kind of what it is now. And that's like the best way that I can like maximize my hours throughout the day. Cause if I wake up late and go do, push
Hmm.
off
Hmm.
riding, then it's like it just messes up the whole like flow of the rest of the day. So
Right.
that's what I found to work with for me, and it's been working great.
So, how many times a week do you go to the gym, and how many times a week are you on your bike? Like, is it four
So
four times or?
it's crazy because like since I moved down here, it's like been like insanely more like that I've been going to the gym and riding because I used to ride by myself and gym by myself and stuff. So it was like getting motivation to do that is hard. Like it's there's some people who can do it, like like Marcus, for instance. Marcus can do that, and I'm like, I cannot go and ride by myself, man. It's hard. I've been doing it for the last 6 years. It's super hard,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
but yeah, I recently, like as of the last like 2 months, I think I've been riding probably like 6 times a week, and then gymming, I would say like 5 times a week,
Okay.
4 or 5 times a week. This last
Okay.
week I took a little chill because I've been going so hard recently, but yeah.
Wow, that's quite a lot. That explains why
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
the videos that you post on Instagram comes out so awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Want to dive deeper into the days that you don't feel motivated to go out and practice, because we all have those days. You go
Oh,
to
of
sleep,
course.
you feel motivated, you're like, okay, tomorrow I'm gonna kill it at the practice or whatever, and then you wake up tomorrow, you feel like you're lacking the motivation. So what inspires you, or what do you do when you find yourself in such predicament?
I would say like when I was back home and I was riding by myself at my own ramps, it would be hard to get up and going. And so one thing that I would always have is like kind of like a trick list in my head, essentially, of like things that I have to practice, or not have to practice, but like I want to practice in order to stay like, doing good at contests and stuff, like things that, are high scoring, for instance, just things like that. So then I would start just, hammering away at like doing some of these tricks here and there, here and there. And if I didn't want to do it, it's like the way that I would think about it is like, okay, well, if I don't do it today, and then the next session I don't want to do it, or I don't feel motivated, then it's just going to be like a cycle of things. So it's like, as long as I can just do it while I'm not motivated, then when, like, if the contest comes, you know what I mean? Like I'm ready for it. You know what I mean? I'm ready to do it no matter how I'm feeling the day of the contest. So that kind of motivates me to do stuff. And then if I'm like really unmotivated to do some tricks, then I'll do like say for instance, this is a trick recently that has been helping me, like double backflips. Like I'll do a double backflip because it's not like super hard for me now, but it does get my adrenaline going for sure.
Right.
So I'll do like a double backflip, and that kind of gets me, okay, boom, I got the adrenaline going. Like, let's just hammer out some more that I like and just keep the ball going, So do double backflip, then I'll do like a 3 triple whip, then I'll usually start with like either 3 triple whip, then double backflip, then I'll do like, some other things that like are like my bigger banger tricks in the session. So that's how I kind of like grease up the gears in a sense, like just try to get the adrenaline going a little bit, try to scare myself a little bit, and then just keep it going, and then turns into a good session. And then there's like some days that it's like super hard to get going and I don't feel like doing those tricks, and it's like, okay, maybe I'll just focus on the things I enjoy doing. So then I'll just, mess around and have fun for that day, and then just, take a day off essentially.
Right. So you're the type of like a momentum guy. You try to create a positive momentum every week so that you continue when you wake up on Monday.
For sure.
You do something. You let's say if you feel less motivated, you do some of the skills that you've nailed over time, and then that get the adrenaline kicking, and then you continue on that positive momentum that you build. That's actually very clever. That's very clever.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's taken a long time to get to that point, but yeah, it's been good and it's been working great.
That's great. That's great. So what are some of the toughest challenges facing you in BMX and in life, if you want to take us that far?
Man, some of the toughest challenges I've been facing, let's see, it's just the progression of BMX right now is just insane. It's like you learn one trick and you're like, heck yeah. And then you look online and then it's like, someone just did it and added a bar spin to it. And you're like, oh, what? Like, I don't understand. Like it just, that's like something that has always been, and it's always going to be there because it's, just how progression sports work, like it's not kicking a ball in a post into like, between two posts, it's completely different. Right. And so, like that. And then I would say also like trying to understand like judging at contests for sure. And like figuring out what my rhythm is when it comes to a contest. Cause there's some people who get it fairly easily, that, have more like standard tricks, like say like triple whips and like quad trucks and, 3, like stuff like that, like where it's just high scoring stuff from the get. Whereas like my riding is a lot different from a lot of people's, I feel, because I'm goofy footed. So I do a lot more like style based tricks. Whereas like some guys don't really focus on style based tricks. And so it's just like hard to figure out what's going to score good with the judges and where I can put my like style in and where I need to put my like contest riding in essentially. But because I don't like doing all the same stuff as everybody. Like I just don't want to look like everybody. But that hinders me when it comes to judging, which sucks. But
right. So you're goofy footed like Marcus, eh? He mentioned that. Yeah. That's awesome. How well do you know Marcus?
So it's funny. Like I know Marcus pretty well now, but like it was just through Instagram. That's pretty much all I knew him before. That's how like I knew like everybody, honestly. Like Kieran I've known for years just through Instagram, and then like met him probably like couple years ago. Same with Marcus. He just showed up at a contest one day and I was like, what? Like, you're here? And then just from there, it was just like, yeah, we clicked pretty well. I always mess with Marcus a little bit because he's a bit shy and stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
me and the boys always mess with him, but we get him out of his shell and stuff. And he's finally like opening up to us. It's awesome because
That's awesome.
he never really went to any contests or anything,
Right.
but we always saw him online and be like, once he starts going to contests, we already know he's going to be an animal. And so now he's going to feasts and stuff and he's just absolutely killing it.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's amazing. I don't know. Maybe one day we'll bring you two together and we'll just do like
That'd be rad.
three-way. Yeah, talk about different things and maybe go more into details on your like daily practice because that's what mostly people are interested in, and especially like the gym schedule. Like, how do you strengthen yourself as a person at the gym in a way that would make you a better BMX athlete? So we'll leave it to next time. We'll leave it to next time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Awesome.
I mean, I'm so into the gym and stuff too. Like that, like to me, it's fun. Like it's just another outlet to like push myself and like be better than, cause it's funny because a lot of people look at BMX as like when we compete, like we're going against each other, but essentially like a lot of it is like we're going against ourselves. Mm-hmm. Because like half the I would say more than half the battle is the mental and stuff. So like us trying to like be confident in ourselves and believe in ourselves is like such a big part in it. And it's like we're not even focused on anybody else, and then like it's just focusing on ourselves and stuff. That's the hardest part for sure.
Absolutely. It's I mean, they say what separates us or normal people from professional athletes is that extra 10%, and that 10% comes from focus, 10% comes from being determined, finding motivation when you actually don't have it, right? So it's good. So we'll definitely take some time to dive into your workout schedule in the future so that we can, teach our community of how to, build a strong physique so that you can, get on the bike and do some tricks. So is there a coach or an athlete you look up to that you have as a role model?
I would say like someone who's like really been a big influence on me in the last like year and a half or so would be like Daniel Sandoval for sure. Cause like, because he kind of hit like his peak a while ago and then like kind of came back down. Mm-hmm. And was kind of just like, staying kind of low key a little bit for a minute there. And then COVID hit. And the next thing you know, he just like, boom, shot up again. And so like, ever since then, really, I mean, me and him have like, he's helped me a ton with like contests and like tricks and stuff like that. Like just this last weekend, like figuring out 5 flares with him and stuff. And he was like, he's been through it all, he knows it all and stuff. And he's helped me a ton. When I was a lot younger, Ryan Nyquist was a big help for me too, and like stuff like that. And now he's the coach of the USA team, which I'm not a part of yet. That's the goal. But like, so that's pretty much it really. I mean, Dave Mira, of course. I mean, that's like classic. Like that's just an absolute beast, and like, that's someone who I look up to a lot. And that's pretty much it.
Cool. What's your most memorable BMX experience? People tend to have one. So what is yours? It could be from childhood or later on in life.
I would say 100% me getting second place at X Games in 2021. Like that was an insane moment. It was funny because I was actually here at this house that when I got the invite before I moved here. And I was like so in shock that I got like an invite and stuff. Cause originally I was supposed to be an alternate. And so I got the invite for an alternate spot. And I was like, okay, sick. Like at least I'm getting like, recognized, you know what I mean? So maybe next year I'll have a full spot. Yeah. And then I got another email that I got an actual invite because I think it was Nick Bruce. Nick Bruce pulled out because of the Olympics. And so then I took his spot. And so I was like, no way. And like I was just like so pumped on it. And then this like being invited and just like being there was insane. And then to be able to make it to the podium was just like an insane like feeling and dream come true. Like it, I was like on cloud nine for like the next like 2 weeks after that. I was just like mind blown. Like, but it made me realize that I could, keep up with the guys, because it's such a crazy sport and hard sport to keep up with. And so,
So it kind of gave
uh,
you like a
yeah,
confirmation.
I was able to push through. Yeah, exactly. Like I need to start believing myself more because I can do this. You know what I mean?
Right,
And
right.
so, um, yeah, that was for sure my most exciting BMX moment as of right now. And yeah, that was an awesome day for sure.
What do you believe is the greatest challenge that most athletes are facing today?
Okay. Would you say like in BMX or just in general?
Yeah, in BMX.
I would say a lot of it has to do with like funding. I think a lot of people lack funding. Like there's so many people out there that need to be exposed to like everyone, like I don't know how to explain it. Like there's so many people out there that you would go to a random park and then they're such a good rider, but then
Hmm.
no one knows of them because they only stay in that little town. Like I remember one of my friends growing up that like kind of took me under their wing at my local skate park. His name's Robert Ware, and
Hmm.
he, like, I not even kidding you, like is like Garrett Reynolds. Like he's insane. Like he would do nose manuals on like rails, like rail ride nose manuals, like nothing, and then just like do nosy bar off. Then he would like alley oop this like box jump lip that was only like 4 foot tall, that was super mellow, and alley oop whip the like across two panels. It was just insane. But like people like him, and there was even a skater that was insane there too. And I was just like, they need to go out and be seen by people. And there's just the thing, like a lot of people lack funding for sure, and that's why like I'm so grateful for like Monster and Monster Army, and Chris Stumbles over there. And he, like, if I didn't have them, I would not be where I'm at today, like 100%, because like, you know 15 years old, I was like, I don't know, like I want to go to these places. My parents didn't really like have the money for it. Like we're not rich by any means. Like my parents like drained all their money into me to do like whatever I wanted to have fun, and like because they support me. And like
Hmm.
if I didn't have them either, I wouldn't be where I'm at all either. But like, man, yeah, funding for sure, because man, like there's so many people I know that like could just use a couple extra bucks to get to places and they would just shine. And it's just
Right.
a shame for sure.
Yeah, yeah, no, definitely. I mean, travel time, cost of competition, places to stay, and all that stuff, it adds up, right? So, without the
Hmm.
proper funding, it becomes more difficult for people to kind of like support their career, especially once they reach the age of 18 or 20, when
For
it's time to
sure.
move out of their parents' house. That's because a lot of we get a lot of people writing to us, young people that ask for sponsorship and whatnot. Some of them, they don't even have a lot of followers, but we sympathize with them and all that stuff, because some of the stories that they share is that it's like, I used to practice every day when I was young, and now I moved out of my parents' house, but I have to work 5 to 6 times a week. What can I do to improve my skills to get better and get more fundings and all that stuff? And because of that is why we actually started this podcast, so that they can tune in and listen to people like you,
That's so
Marcus,
awesome.
yeah, and your experiences, and then that way hopefully they'll learn more and more with time. And we really appreciate you for taking your time today,
Yeah, of course, man. I
and
appreciate it a lot.
help the people, get their questions answered. So another question is, basically this aims towards your near-term goals. What are your near-term goals? Let's say 6 months to a year.
6 months to a year, I would say. Um, the big one, obviously, is to do as best as I can at the next upcoming events. I'd like to place top, I would say top 10 in the
Hmm.
next year of feast.
Hmm.
That's kind of like the goal.
Hmm.
I'd like to place probably top 10 in like like world championships. I don't know if I'm going to qualify for the one this year, but next year definitely I'd like to, place a lot, like pretty high. And yeah, and to make the USA team, that's a big goal of mine as well. That's pretty much it, really. I mean, I'm just trying to train as hard as I can,
Right.
push myself as hard as I can, and just see how far I can go, really. I mean, and so, yeah, that's pretty much my goals now, is just do
Hmm.
that.
What's the long-term goal, which is like 5 to 10 years?
Well, long-term goal, I would say, is to obviously, I want to go to the Olympics. That's, I mean, a lot of people's goal right now in BMX,
Yeah.
at least on like the competitive side. Um, yeah, that's like long-term goal for sure. I mean, and then like, I don't know, like I'm pretty young, so I could always go to a couple more Olympics as well, like qualify for those. I definitely would like to go to at least one, but I'd like to go as many as I can.
Right.
Um, and then, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it, really. As of right now, that's like the only real goal I have in sight is that, and then, do good at X Games and stuff as well. But
Right.
yeah, just
So
I
what?
want to place as
Mhm.
many, I want to place on the podium at as many contests as I go to pretty much this next year and the next years.
Awesome. Awesome. Final question. What will you do to ensure that you get a spot in the Olympics team?
Um, just train harder than everybody. I mean, like in order to be the best, you got to train better than the best, So just got to keep pushing myself like I am. I'm on a good steady pace, I think, right
Mhm.
now, and I think I have the tricks as well. Maybe get a couple more, and it's just a matter of getting those
Mhm.
consistent. And a lot of it is, getting your mind right as well. So been taking a lot of things into consideration that way, and I've been taking things a lot more serious as well. And so I'm on the right path. I think I just need to just keep
Keep
staying
going.
on this path, and just keep going up and keep progressing and staying confident and believing in myself. That's essentially all I got to do, and hopefully I'll be there.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time and for answering all of our questions. This was great. I'm sure our community will love this. Next time, we will definitely bring you on with maybe Marcus and some other guys, and we'll just do some deep dive into, the workout schedule and the training so that, our people, our community, and your fans will get more knowledgeable and hopefully improve with time.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you so much for having me on here. And yeah, that'll be such an awesome thing to do. Uh, yeah, thank you so much for having me on here. Thanks you guys so much for
Awesome.
tuning in. And yeah.
Thank you.